Whitney Rose literally went a little bit too far this time, and people are just giving her a little backlash. Girl, I mean, we need to talk about this. But before we start, welcome back. I'm the real Andy of Beverly Hills. Welcome to another piece of tea. If you are new here, welcome to Beverly Troop, where I keep it real and I mention it all. So make sure to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Guys, I am driving right now, so I am not looking at the camera. Because like a bitch is trying not to die, okay? So like, let's pretend that you are with me, you are the co-pilot on this car, and we are just throwing all of the gossip and all of the good tea, all right? And girl, let's talk about this mess. This is like so crazy to me. We all know what is happening in Salt Lake City, the heartbreaking news of Mary Cosby's son passing away. There's still not a lot of clarity around that, just in the sense that, I mean, we all know that he died from an overdose. However, TMC, I think they allude that it might be something else going on, right? I received some messages, people saying like, oh my God, was she like, murder or something like that. I don't think that's what they were referring on us when they say that an investigation has been made. I think when you find someone having an overdose, you just have to rule out, was this an accidental overdose or was like an intentional overdose. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really not gonna change the outcome. I think it's more like a peace of mind for the people that stay behind, but like, I think that's the investigation. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze. Allergies. So anyways, so I think that's what TMC was kind of like meaning when they say that there was an investigation going on, but we don't have like any like information about that, and I don't think we're gonna get any information about that for a while. Again, I don't think that is gonna change anything. I mean, it's not gonna change anything except how his family is gonna like receive the situation. It's not a secret, he was not only suffered from addiction, but he also suffered from like depression and anxiety, and all of that. So the two of them, really go together, and it's a recipe for disaster. But anyways, as we know so far, Salt Lake City was on pause. However, apparently it's gonna get on pause very soon. And Mary Cosby, allegedly she is actually going to be filming the whole thing. Look, I already voiced my concern about, Mary Cosby filming right now. But like I said on my previous video, at the end of the day is Mary Cosby's decision, like, yeah. Like, she, in my humble opinion, that nobody asked for, she should not be filming. Like, if I was Bravo, if I was a producer, I would be like, this is not the moment for her to be filming. Like, give her, I don't know, girl, at least 6 months or something. But at the end of the day, it will really rely to, if Mary Cosby says that she wants to do this, then she wants to do this, and there's nothing that anyone else that can do, right? And anyways, now the point turns a little bit into what is happening with the rest of the cast. I have had a lot of conversations with different sources from Salt Lake City, and I think all the cast is very shaking right now, and that they're really trying to figure out how they're gonna move forward with the next season, and what is the kind of like the right way, right? I mean, reality TV is a way to like really show a face into like the most stupidest and petty problems, right? And we enjoy it. They get exaggerated for a reason, and we enjoy watching these women fighting sometimes for the most stupid shit, right? Or for shit that it involves your family, and all of that, which also could be like very serious. But no matter what issues you have, it cannot be compared to a mother losing her only son, you know. So it's very hard to navigate how this is gonna go, right? How are we gonna film? How are we gonna address any situation if any of the women can, you know, compare this to what Mary Cosby is going through? You know, it's going to be very complicated. You know, it's going to be very like how do we address this, especially if, like, let's say Mary Cosby is actually there present. You know, every other issue becomes irrelevant. You know, becomes dumb. So they're really trying to figure out how to move, you know, around that. Are we, you know, are they trying to say, like, okay, are we gonna have like a season around Mary Cosby and her being the central stage, and, you know, her grief and her pain and just the ladies rallying around her? Or are we gonna have the same, you know, show where, you know, a lot of these ladies have a lot of issues, you know, and is it going to be okay to fight about those issues even with Mary Cosby around her, around them, you know? So I think that's kind of like the main situation over here. Now, right now, a lot of eyes are on the Salt Lake City ladies. You know, I mean, the number one thing that a lot of people really wanted it to like go into was like, who is there for Mary? Who is like doing the most? You know, and I think it's very interesting when I see this, because I saw a lot of messages of support for Mary Cosby, you know, from a lot of housewives, not only from Salt Lake City, but from like all of the franchises, you know. And you can tell, you know, that a lot of people are being very fake, right? So you are never there for her, but of course on this moment you want to appear with the biggest message, trying to be the loudest, just so people will say like, oh my God, yes, she is so there for her, right? But in real life, they never, you know, gave her a call, you know, they never went and visit her, you know, or were talking about their son, you know, and all of that, right? And a lot of people, a lot of fans believe that the bigger the message, then the better it is. You know, like, oh my God, the more you express in a message in social media, it's because you really, she is really there for Mary. And it's not like that at all, guys. There is a lot of fakeness playing into this. there is becoming, when it comes into Salt Lake City, there are some housewives who are right now being very close to Mary, and there are some housewives that are not being close to Mary at all, you know. And I know who is who, but I'm not gonna put anyone on the spot right now. What I can tell you is we need to let right now people be a little bit. Yes, I do agree that the ladies need to be careful with how they move around, especially in social media, you know. Whitney Rose is the perfect example of this, you know. Whitney Rose posted a picture literally like some days after all of this tragedy of her and her son, which, you know, it's okay. It doesn't mean, I mean, just because Mary went through that doesn't mean that, you know, you cannot post pictures of your family ever again. I don't think that's valid, you know. The problem is the caption, you know. She posted and she says something like, oh, spending time with my son, you know, especially during these times, you know, everything feels so much bigger and clearer, some bullshit like that, you know. How dumb do you have to be to post something like this? You are literally basically saying, oh, I'm sorry that your son passed away, but mine's still here, so I'm going to enjoy him now that I understand what, like that I should be with my son. Like, even if that's not the case, that's how it seems, you know. And people went crazy, guys. The cancellation of Whitney Rose was like huge. Comments are across social media, on X, on Instagram, on Reddit, on Facebook. People were like very upset and very offended that she will dare to post something like that, you know. given the situation that Mary is going on right now. Mary Cosby is going on social media. We have seen her post things about her and Robert Jr. on social media. So she's definitely seeing this, you know. So it's very like tone deaf. You know, a lot of people are labeling like very tone deaf, you know, and I'm like, girl, really? Like, why do you need to be so dumb, you know? Just be careful. I think for the ladies, I will be like, just be careful. Yes, you can post about your life. One of the things about death, and only people who has gone through deaths in their families understand this, you know, is that you think that the whole world is gonna stop for you, and it just doesn't happen, you know. Lives goes on, you know. I mean, you can lose someone and literally the next day people have to work, you still have to pay your bills, you still have to eat, you still have to, if you have kids, you have to take care of your kids, you know. It's just the way life works, right? So it's not like you have to like put your whole life on hold because, you know, a friend of you is going through some horrible moment in their life, right? But you do have to pay a little bit of attention, you know, especially if this person is supposed to be your friend. I think what this does is really show, you know, how really close you are to Mary, because a post like this would not happen from someone who is really close to Mary. You can close yourself going out, you can post yourself with your husband, you can post yourself at a restaurant, you can post, you know, that's fine, you know. But actively posting a picture of you and your son and then referring on the caption of that post to your friend who just lost also her kid, girl, no, okay? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Mary is going to react to this. I don't know. Like, I mean, this is a very complicated situation. So anyways, that's what is going on right now in Salt Lake City. I will give you more tea, you know, as soon as we know more or I can tell more. So let me know what you guys think on the comments below. And if you want to get all the tea related to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City or any of the other Bravo shows, make sure to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you around. See ya. Bye.